Plaintiff Annalise Stone met the defendant at work, and they started dating. Annalise claims after the defendant got a new job, he started spending a lot of time with a female coworker, and he ended up getting her pregnant. Annalise says she moved out after that, and the defendant ended up stalking her. She's suing her ex for an unpaid credit card bill. Defendant Jason Denis knows that he made a lot of mistakes, but says no one should be fooled by Annalise's sweet appearance. Jason admits that while he and Annalise were still having sex, he waited outside of her apartment one night for over 4 hours and says he caught her coming home with another man. Jason feels Annalise is overcharging him for the credit card bill.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Prove your case.
Jason and I met. We worked together. When we started dating, he presented me with the information that he had to claim bankruptcy, I believe around the age of 21, and it was due to gambling debt. We moved in 2007 together after we'd been dating for a year and a half. He was working in the evenings only, and with his free time during the day, he was playing poker online, so he was gambling again. Okay. And I found out after the fact. He got a new job and started working during the day. I was going to school and working at night. By the fall of that year, he had met somebody at work, and he had started spending more and more time with her. Their relationship was increasingly close. When I discovered what was going on, I told him that he had to end it. He had to stop seeing her, which he said that he would do. And we actually started going to therapy together to try and improve our relationship. And February of 2009, the following year, he had unprotected sex with her and actually got her pregnant. He got his things ready to move out of our apartment and wasn't going to tell me what was going on, but finally manned up and did tell me what happened. After kind of months of trying to figure out what was going to happen, in May of this year, I moved out and got my own apartment. And after we moved out, I found out that he was occasionally kind of watching me, and there was an incident where he was waiting for me to come home.
Your Honor, if I may, there was also, after we moved out, we were actually still working on things. Her and I were hanging out regularly and, frankly, sleeping together regularly.
Up through when?
Up through the end of May, Your Honor. So, I recognize in this situation, I'm the bad guy. I did a lot of bad things. I've hurt people, her family, my family, friends. I'm not the good guy here. And I'm not looking to be the good guy. But the bottom line is, I know you see Annalise Stone here, sweet, innocent, very composed. And beneath all that is somebody who is unrepentant, unapologetic,
About
and
what?
unremorseful. The night that I was stalking her, I had actually the week before, immediately after we were sleeping together, I had suspected that she'd been hanging out with some other people. And I'd actually looked at her cell phone. Frankly, I'm not kind of proud of snooping, but I did. And immediately after we were sleeping together, I went into the shower to confront her. And I'm like, "Are you hanging out with anybody?" And she's like, "No." And I hold the cell phone. I'm like, "You want to try that again?" She confessed. We talked about the state of our situation, trying to work on things. She had actually even suggested that morning that we buy a condo together if we moved back in with each other. And that very night, actually, after she went on a date, after I caught her with the cell phone messages, she actually came, spent the night at my house. We talked about how we were going to try things, and it was that week after that I had actually basically, in no defense of myself, just kind of gotten drunk, decided to act on this feeling that she was hanging out with somebody else. And I went. I stood in front of our old apartment building, and I waited for 4.5 hours. And sure enough, at 2:30, she comes with this guy, this tattooed drunkard who we've both seen be physical with women in a very negative way. They show up, they're stoned,
I've never seen him
they're
be
blitzed.
physical with anyone else in a negative way.
And I call her, and I'm like, "Is he in your apartment?" And I get this, "Where are you?" And I'm like, "Let's try that again. Is he in your apartment?" So basically the situation escalates to the fact that—
Where were you?
I was outside.
I
I didn't kick down the door.
In.
That's right. They actually walked within
Where
3
were you,
feet
in
of
the
me.
bushes? Did they see
No,
you?
I was standing right across the street. Actually, he was pushing
Okay.
her bicycle, and she was
So
walking.
they wouldn't have seen you, but you saw them.
No, they could have seen me, but they were too drunk and stoned. They walked within 3
All
feet of
right.
me. I literally could have reached out and
Man,
touched
I
them,
know
and they
you
didn't
were
even see
crushed.
me. Yeah, no, it was brutal. It was brutal. I mean, it was a hard situation for everyone. Again, we both did things here. I'm not the good guy.
She did it after you all were in the process of breaking up, sir. Go ahead, ma'am.
We broke up, and I moved out, and I did start seeing other people.
What month?
May.
It was May.
Okay.
It was May.
All right. Let's move on to the credit card bill. How does he owe you for that?
I gave him a credit card in the summer of 2007. He had told me that there'd been an incident where he had overwithdrawn his checking account, and I didn't want him to have to pay the charges for that. So I gave him a credit card on my own account with his name on it. And
for what purpose? To use at his will?
It was always understood that it was his credit card in his name. He was
Did he make
responsible
timely
for the
payments?
debt. Did he make timely payments? I would say no. He made very sporadic payments over the life of the credit card.
The amount of payments he missed accumulated to what?
The total amount of charges is $6,890.79. There are 3 charges at PetSmart that I'm removing from this bill because they're for my dog, and I do not expect him to pay those. And there's also...
So you had the card also?
No, we shopped there together, and he used his card to pay.
Okay, let me hear from you.
Frankly, the card is in Annalise's name. She issued it to me. I signed a cardholder agreement with American Express, nor did I ever sign an agreement with her. The agreement was that we would both be paying on the bill. As Ms. Stone has said, I paid bills sporadically. Whenever money was available. I took a different job in January of 2008.
What percentage was each to pay?
Essentially, we were going to pay each of the shares that we racked up on our card.
Okay.
But if you look at the amounts on the card, and if you look at the charges, yes, there's PetSmart. I think there's also a $300 green Renaissance fair dress. I don't really think that would fit me.
How much do you believe she charged?
Well, considering we were going to bars and it was for restaurants and groceries and things like that, I would say that our share together pooled.
Her share.
Her share, I'd say she's accountable for probably $1,800 of that.
Okay, ma'am, did you charge approximately $1,800?
No.
Okay. Do you have the bills?
I do have the bills.
All right.
This is.
And sir, you say what else do you think is on here that she should pay?
There's quite a bit of bars and restaurants and things like that we obviously went out and, because I'm the guy, I take out the card, I put it down. I mean, the card wasn't just my use. We were living together.
Because you're the guy, you put the card down.
Yeah, the guy pays.
Oh, hold on. The guy pays. Thank you. Now, so we'll eliminate all of those charges for food and restaurants because, as you said, the guy pays. All right. Is there anything else?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
In this mingling of finances and lifestyles, she actually had crashed my car.
I did not crash the car.
Quiet, ma'am.
The estimate was anywhere between like $675, which I have if you'd like to see, as well as.
And you spoke with her, and what did you all conclude?
Well, the agreement was that she would pay me back for the repairs to the car after she went on this month-long trip to China when we were having serious relationship issues with a bunch of her.
When was this?
This was we made the agreement that she was going to China in January and February.
Ma'am, what do you want to tell me about this alleged agreement?
There was a conversation where I said that I would pay for the damages to his car. He later told me that he would not hold me responsible for the payment of the damages to his car.
Until she got back from China.
Ma'am, until when? At all?
I was under the impression that it was at all.
What gave you that impression?
From what I remember of the conversation, he told me that he would forgive me that debt.
After you had told him you would pay for it?
Yes.
How long after did he say you didn't have to?
I would say that this was at a point where we were still seeing each other. This was probably May, and I believe in an attempt to remain in a relationship with me, he told me that he would forgive me that debt.
And
yes.
you said that didn't happen?
No, I did not forgive her the debt, but I told her it could be removed from the amount because I understand that I owe her some money.
You said what again?
That the amount of money she owes for the car.
Was there a second conversation?
Yes.
You missed telling me that. Why didn't you tell me that a minute ago?
Because there was a period of time that I was trying to work on things, and I think when you're trying to work
No,
with
you
someone...
should have told me that then.
I agree.
Instead, you acted as if she owed you and that was the last conversation. You left that out. That omission could be interpreted as deception. So I'm going to grant you your judgment because with regard to the bills, which do exceed $5,000, he has said today that the only thing that he shouldn't pay for is the restaurant and bar tabs. And then he later said that, no, the man should pay for it. So I'm gonna let the man pay for it. $5,000 for the plaintiff. Have a good day.
You know, it's disappointing. It's a mess, and it's sad, but you know, it's sad it's come to this.
I hope that he learns a lesson and that he gets his life together and that he can be honest and true to the next woman that he's with.